Hey guys, ExoJet here, and today I have something super awesome to show you guys. First I want to say sorry for not uploading, and I have been redstoning, and I have built a few things, but they weren't really video worthy, and other reasons for not uploading were I had a ton of schoolwork, and I also had like sports. I'm a cross country runner, so I had a ton of sports to do. But now the sports season is over, and I will have a lot more time to do Minecraft videos, and I have some videos to come out because I might as well just post the videos on the things that I had made but not made a video on. And on that note, I have something super awesome to show you guys, and this is something related to do with slime blocks, as you can tell, and it's basically Slimeblock Quarry, which is an idea that Sandcarn had, and if you don't know who Sandcarn is, you should definitely go check out his channel. And basically, he had this idea where slime blocks would go down into the ground, pick up blocks and stuff, come back up, and it would mine blocks for you, which is very incredibly amazing idea. And I had thought about it, but now that people like Redstone Jazz has they have started like working on these kinds of things, and I just decided to try as well, and I've come up with some very nice designs here. And this is what Sandcarn would call the crane and chain method, I think, unless I'm wrong. But these are basically two-way up and down flying machines that can pick up several, like a lot of blocks that are in the ground without getting stuck or anything. And let's go ahead and start off with the one right here. And this one was my very first design, so of course it had several flaws, but it was actually pretty good. There were two major problems, and that was this slime block right here. When going down, after digging like a hole that it was digging, after a while there would be a block like right here. And this block could get stuck. These blocks here would get stuck here, and that would pass the push limit. And so this was kind of a problem. And then same with this. So on my second design, which is these, and it's really just the one wide unit, I just have two of them here, I solved a couple of problems. First, I shaved off the one block that could have gotten stuck here, so this is no longer a problem. But I still had these, which were kind of problems. This right here could get stuck in the ground, and that is still a problem for this very design. And so that wasn't very good. But this design was actually kind of tileable a little bit if you staggered them. And that was one thing I was going for. And my next designs kind of changed the staggering thing a little bit. But it fixed the problem where this could get caught. But I'm going to show this design in action really quick to show what I had in plan. And it's not perfect by any means. It has a ton of issues. But let's say this is just like an example. Those there, just ignore it. And it does work out. I'm just going to show this moving down and up really quick. I'll explain more on how it actually really works. So first I'd want to power this, and then power that here. No, not that. This, then this. So that could all be done in the redstone, because I'd expect this to be like a stationary base. And the downwards flying engine is kind of slow. It's just a caterpillar engine. And it'll basically fly all the way down. These blocks here would stick themselves in there. And then they would have to fly back up. And here, to fly back up, all I had to do was power this, and then power this, or update, not really power. And the way I thought of doing that, without having to be here with like flint and steel and updating all these pistons, was water. But I did run into a few problems with water, and this is why I kind of need your guys' help for this. There's a few issues, and that's water is kind of random. The speed at which it flows doesn't really help with the issue, and when it's flowing downwards, it could sometimes, like, this stream could flow faster than this stream and things like that, and that could make the the piston machine not work properly, and hopefully it'll fly up. See, right here, it didn't work, and that's probably because the stream was going at different random lengths, and that's pretty bad. That's not gonna help. And you guys might be asking, why not a, like, one of the very thin slices of water to go down, because that's easier than a stream. And with that, I had even worse luck, and for some reason, when I had just a water blade, it would update even more randomly, and these would get even worse out of sync. These actually seem to not be as bad when they are trying to update. And if I can get this to work, which I can't seem to get it quite right, but you guys get the idea. The pistons would update, and the piston machine would fly back up, and I'm just not getting lucky. And this is why I'm kind of not liking the idea of water. It doesn't really work very well. But here, let me show you guys what it would be like if I could get it to work on camera here. Let's just spam that piston a bit. So this is a downwards flying machine, so we don't want it to fly downwards. So the water and proper timing would make it so this wouldn't fly downwards. But you need very precise timing, and water just doesn't help. And then if this was like this, if this was downwards, you'd need to push it up, otherwise the push limit would be too much. And then right here, you just update this piston, and this entire chunk of land just flies up. It's absolutely huge amount of land being taken up. And this upwards flying machine is really fast. It's very, very fast. As you can see, it's already up here when the piston worm going down was a lot slower. And then there would probably be like a collector thing, some other flying machines here just to collect those, and it would continue, and it could dig straight down very, very easily and very nicely. And this is just very small scale, and this one isn't very perfect. It does get caught on the side because of these two slime blocks, and it doesn't really work that well. So then I thought, okay, to fix those two slime blocks that were sticking out there, I tried doing that, but this one right here, which is my third version, still had a problem. I did take off that, and I did take off those, so it wouldn't get caught, but it did get caught with this very slime block here. Because if I fly down from here, we land on this block, and so the slime block would be right here, and I've manually taken these ones out, but there would be two columns here, and when the slime block got here, it would have to take up these extra blocks, and that wasn't very good. That's pretty bad. So it wouldn't really work unless you dug columns, so the slime blocks wouldn't get caught there, and that doesn't sound very manual to me, so that's not what I was going for. That's not manual. So then I came here to my last and final design, which fixed all those problems. These slime blocks will not get caught with anything, and it's actually pretty tileable. You can have another one, like any amount of these going that way, and that is no problem because these right here will tile very nicely next to each other. Sadly, I couldn't really think of a way to tile them diagonally like this. If there were more of them here, like flying machines here, some of these redstone blocks there would interact with this one, but I was thinking of like these getting pushed out of the way, because this would be a stationary base and it would be as big as you want it. So let's say we wanted to dig out one chunk of land. This right here would be about one chunk big of just these downwards piston machines flying, but we could actually move these back when we wanted the other flying machines to be here, to move down and then back up. So that's what I was thinking, and these were almost the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and set it to fly downwards. First, you update this piston, so it pushes that larger mass. Then when you update this piston, this right here will retract. This right here will update, which will update the downward flying piston machine, and that will get going. Fly all the way down. And it doesn't touch any other blocks, so that's really nice. It won't get jammed on anything. There, just like that. It will go down, and it'll stop because of the push limit. Then what we need to do is very simple. Just push up that a few times. Let's just spam it a bit. We don't want the piston machine flying downwards, and the water could take care of that. Then we push this up, and then we just push the very last piston on the bottom. And with water, there is a place right. If you guys were wondering how we would access this with water, you would power it right here with water. this would go straight up, as you can see, very fast. This upward flying machine is incredibly fast, and it just goes straight up, no problem, until it stops by this immovable furnace, and we'd collect these. And so that was my idea, and we'd have the one next to it also do that. It would pick up these blocks here, these, this, and that, and so would one here, you know, it would just do this, and this would be very big. It would not be just this size, it would keep expanding outwards that way, and that way, several times, and the very last one might get caught in the corner because of these slime blocks. So what I had in mind was, because we had so much space from all of these, we could just have one that's mirrored, like flipped, that looked basically like this one right here. All we had to do is have this one that's flipped just like this fly down and do the same job as the others, but because it's flipped, this corner slime block here would not get caught in anything, and it would be facing that way, and that would just be the last set of slime blocks, or piston grabber machine thingies. They would be flipped so they wouldn't collide with anything. Those would be special ones, and that would be your area, like let's say one chunk. And so we need quite a lot of these, but I feel like that's totally worth it. This is probably one of the best techniques that I have seen so far. The only other person that I really know of that's really trying hard with these piston quarry, Slimeblock Quarry things is Redstone Jazz, and I'm not too sure what he's coming up with, but it seems pretty cool, and it seems to be working for him, so I can't wait to see that. But this is what I have here, and it's a different method. He was doing some kind of onion peel method, and I'm doing something else. And if you guys want to know how to build this downward flying machine thing, I will be doing a tutorial right now, and hopefully this won't be too long. So let's just say we want these to be here, and you don't need them to be any closer. There's no point, because the blocks that will be moved would be here and here, so you really don't even need them to be closer. Actually, it wouldn't work if they were closer. So this is how far you should tile each section. Place 2 slime blocks there, and those are going to be the slime blocks that grab all the blocks from the ground. Place a upwards piston here, a piston there, and a downwards sticky piston there. And we could power that, that's okay, or not. Yeah, or not. So, but that's how the upwards flying engine works. So you place this like that, and if I can get this downward piston, there we go. Now what we need is that redstone block there, this and this, a upwards facing piston that will push up this. So when this extends upwards, this piston will be there up here, and so will this piston, and that will get butted by this redstone block, but it will update and it will extend. But then this piston right here will push up, and this piston will retract, but then this piston right here still also has to retract, and this piston will not push again unless we have something to update this piston so it retracts a little bit faster. And this might seem complicated, but if you know anything about like zero ticks or things, it's not quite a zero tick, but it does help update this piston faster so it will retract faster, and that is what makes this flying machine faster, and it's also what makes this flying machine work. So you do need this right here, and this piston would basically just extend and update this piston. And now that's the upwards flying machine. Now what we need is part of the downwards flying machine, so you just want to build this shape like this. Place a support block here, place a downwards facing piston, do that one more time like this, with that shape, place another downwards facing piston, and from what I can see there, I'm just going to want to quickly have some furnaces or any unmovable block. Oh, don't want to fall, that's bad. Fly. Okay, place that there. Place this here, it's okay if it extends once. And then I can remove this again, that's no problem. Now what we need is a block. Actually, let me get a furnace. You want to put that here so it won't go off flying if you accidentally update it. place a downwards facing piston here, and that's okay. Then place another block there. This is an upwards regular piston. This right here is a block. That right there is a redstone block. 1 and 2 slime blocks there, like that. And then this is just a downwards flying machine, so all you have to do is get a downwards facing piston, like this, if I can get it. I can upwards facing sticky piston with a block there, a redstone block here, this, and this isn't supposed to be a slime block, just for now though. We can remove that so it doesn't start flying on us. What we need is that. There we go. So when we place a a redstone block here, and we update that, that right there should retract, should do some funny things. That's okay. It will still work. All we need to do now is place a redstone block there, and it will fly downwards, which is completely normal. And this is kind of a problem because I didn't remove these blocks beforehand, and that's probably gonna jam up the system. But if we had a complete set and a flipped version of these, like, also working, that would not be an issue, I don't think. Through all my testing, I hadn't seen anything go wrong, so that's all good. Let's just send this back up. To send it back up, you update that piston, or spam that piston, which can be done with water, and with right timing, this would all of this would update really quickly, not letting the flying machine go back down. And let's just send it back up, and that is all. That is your up and downwards flying machine. Also, this upward and downward flying machine is pretty useful, not just for the Slimeblock Quarry. It's probably good for like an elevator, a really fast elevator, for up, a kind of slower elevator for down, but that's really nice. And so that there is your up and down flying machine, with no redstone blocks that need to be moved. That's pretty important. I've seen flying machines before, but this is one that does not need to move any blocks in particularly any fashion. They just need to be updated right, but other than that, I think that's all. That there is my idea for a Slimeblock Quarry, and I hope you guys see this and spread the word and hopefully find a use for it. Maybe this won't even ever be used at any point, but I think it could be useful. Even if we use something like an onion peel method, you can't peel the slice of an onion and then try peeling the next layer without the piston machines kind of getting stuck in the ground. So you might need these to pick up and clean around the edges of the peel so that you can get the flying machines back into the next layer so that they can pick up more. And so that's what I was thinking. Very nice, very kind of, I think, the best way to do a quarry. Not the fastest though. But yeah, that's all I have to say. There's not much else. Thanks for watching, and bye.